Hello everyone, CinemaWeb here with our final Bifan Mini review for 2018. This movie is Saint Agatha. Saint Agatha is the story of a woman named Mary who goes to a convent, I guess that's the right word. Unfortunately, the convent has very strict rules and the head nun is cruel and sadistic. So look, I'm going to level with you about my biases before we continue a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of horror movies that leverage that Christian iconography, like where the villain is Satan, or you got evil nuns, or exorcisms. I can't explain the reason for that. I just don't get it, I guess. It doesn't usually come off as that scary to me. I don't know why. The other problem that Saint Agatha has is that it doesn't go far enough, I guess. Frequently, I would, because I watch a lot of horror movies, predict what's going to happen next. And I was usually about half right in that I guessed kind of the beginning and the middle, but then my ending was always better than whatever the movie came up with. Frequently I would think, oh, are they going to do that? And then, no, they're not. They're not going to do that. So it almost felt like every time that there was a shocking moment, I ended up let down rather than impressed. It doesn't have that much hard gore. It has a few gross food-related scenes, like a woman forced to eat her own vomit. But you don't actually see it or anything like that. So it's just a suggestion, which is fine. It's just the movie feels like it would have been better had it been either more restrained, relying more on like tension and suspense, or less restrained and got gorier or something, got a little weirder. It does have one standout scene that I would explain to give an example of what I mean. However, it is a spoiler, and we've been doing non-spoiler reviews, so here is the deal. If you're interested in this ridiculous scene, truly ridiculous scene that actually did surprise me, then stay after Mian's mini review and I'll give you some spoilers. We're not going to do a deep dive on this movie later. However, if you want to avoid spoilers and you're interested in Saint Agatha, then you can just cut right after Mian's mini review. I'll put up a spoiler warning, don't worry. It's not that Saint Agatha is bad per se, it's just a bit tame, and because of its subject matter, quite uncomfortable, but not challenging, just uncomfortable. So it's the kind of movie I don't personally recommend, although I think if you watched it you wouldn't necessarily, I don't think you'd be angry about how bad it is. It's just not great. I don't think it has much for veteran horror fans. If you've seen a lot of horror movies, I don't think Saint Agatha's got anything new to bring to the table. So thank you for joining us on this journey through our Bifan 2018 reviews. You can join us next year for our 2019 reviews, and until then, we will be getting back to our regularly scheduled content. Whatever counts as regular for CinemaWeb, at least. Remember, stay after the credits if you wanted to see spoilers for this movie.
굉장히 소름 끼치고 불편한 영화.
So looks like you have stayed for the spoilers. Get ready. Let me set the scene. Mary is running away from one of the nuns trying to escape the convent. She's super pregnant when suddenly her water breaks. That's right, baby's coming. So she gets down into a position that a woman would get into to give birth, and her legs are obscured by a dress, and the pursuing nun catches up to her, and she convinces the pursuer to help her give birth. Now, because they had featured bear traps earlier in the movie, my thought was there's totally a bear trap under the dress. The bad nun was going to reach under the dress and then chomp, gets her hands in the bear trap. That was the scene I kind of imagined. Didn't happen. The baby comes out like normal, and the evil nun cuts the umbilical cord, and I thought, oh no, that was disappointing. But then the movie actually did surprise me, because the mother took the umbilical cord that's still attached to her body and wrapped it around the evil nun's throat and then choked her to death. That's right, choked her to death with an umbilical cord. I've never seen that before. I can't recommend the whole movie just so you can see that, and it was kind of immersion breaking. That's ridiculous. It's the kind of thing you'd see in like a trauma movie or something. It's kind of unbelievable to see it in a movie that had been played completely seriously up to then, and then seemed like that scene played out as if it was supposed to be serious. But how can you take a woman strangling another woman with an umbilical cord seriously? That's St. Agatha. I've now told you the best scene. Maybe you can find just that scene and watch it, and then you've definitely seen the best part of the movie. Or worst part of the movie? I don't know. I'm probably not going to remember St. Agatha next year.